wish you a beneficial and prosperous day. Want your company to be in good company? Our Corp's unique vertically integrated corporate parks offer amenities such as resource sharing and logistical pairing for our rental partners. Inquire today to learn how you can invest in making our Corp your new home.
VIP services are needed in the executive receiving area. VIP services to exec receiving.
Thank you for visiting our Corp, Stanton's capital of commerce. Whatever your transaction, we wish you a beneficial and prosperous day. Obey all security and customs personnel at all times. Their job is your safety. Hello, and welcome to Riker Memorial Spaceport, servicing the greater Area 18 metropolitan area. We hope you have safe travels wherever your final destination may be. From transforming worlds to exploring the stars, our Corp is proud to bring the universe closer together. Our Corp, investing in tomorrow's futures. Want your company to be in good company? Our Corp's unique vertically integrated corporate parks offer amenities such as resource sharing and logistical pairing for our rental partners. Inquire today to learn how you can invest in making our Corp your new home. It takes all of us working together to keep our Corp safe and secure. Be vigilant and report possible threats every time.
Pretty sure I got like a super old version of Windows 10.
Please be
Trying to figure out
aware
how to
that
fix
while
it.
in the Stanton system and on our Corp, all UEE common law
This is not Windows 11.
Fix Windows 10 or fix the mic?
I might have to go to 11. No, the mic I can't fix.
Oh.
And my, what's the name, didn't, my Bluetooth one didn't work.
obey all security.
Had a little fun the other night. I've got infrared night vision cameras out here, right? And I'm looking at my cameras, and then I changed angle, and I'm looking at them again, and it looks like the freaking entire forest to the east of us is on fire. I mean, it's just blazing orange, or blazing bright. It's not orange because it's night vision.
Yeah.
I rush upstairs. Nothing. Nothing. Everything looked fine. Go outside. No. Don't see. Don't hear nothing. Go back downstairs. Check it again. Looks like a freaking place is burning to the ground. Go back upstairs. Nothing. Go get my handheld FLIR. Expensive freaking camera too. And I pulled my FLIR scope out. Power that up. Looks like a forest is burning down to the ground. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So I gear up, head out into the woods, and I get about half a mile. And all of a sudden I start seeing bright orange, and I'm like, oh shit, there is a forest fire out here. Well, it turns out my neighbor actually was burning a 50-foot by 50-foot brush pile at about 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, man, you should have let me know. He goes, well, I didn't know you had freaking infrared cameras out.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, they pick up anything that's got heat to it, a body, an animal, or brush fires. He's like, well, it's good to know. Because I came flying through, basically I came back to the house and got the four-wheel drive truck and was flying through freaking 3-foot snow trying to get back there through the woods. Then all of a sudden I'm like, wait a second, that looks too central, and as I get closer I can see a few people milling around. You know, it's like they didn't know who was flying up on them through the snow like that. And I'm like, well shit, I thought the freaking forest was burning down and it was coming toward me. That was pretty funny though. Hey, he didn't say anything, so how am I supposed to know? All I see was the forest burning down in my night vision, so either I'm going nuts, or there's really something going on.
You probably went nuts years ago.
That's beside the point. That's a given for me. I went nuts the day I went in the military. What are you talking about?
Exactly. If you'll ask me if I'm crazy, I tell them, well, I did volunteer to join the infantry.
Whatever your transaction, we wish you a benefit.
Yeah, at least I didn't go to that level of crazy.
And I was a Dragon anti-tank missile gunner, so my
boy, you skipped right.
Length of life in combat in a Cold War scenario was about 35 seconds.
Yeah, you skipped right past that one.
What is the Dragon cover? Dragon.
Old wire-guided tank missile before the Javelin.
Like old as in not used for a couple of decades.
2001, the last one was phased out of the U.S. military.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
During Desert Storm. No, it was last time they were used in combat was in Desert Storm.
Yeah.
They were phased out in 2001.
Yes.
I think I remember hearing about that in ammunition specialist school. That's why I think it's ringing a bell.
And the only reason they were phased out was the whatever weather tight they're using on the missile tubes failed. So the wires are corroding, and if the wire corroded on it, it randomly fire the rocket motors that direct the missile.
Oh Lord.
Well, that was
so, like,
one
it
of
would,
the
like, come
reasons.
back at you.
That was one of the reasons. There was another reason. They couldn't hit shit.
Oh, you could hit with them.
Not with today's stuff that Russia came out with a system that basically made them obsolete. That's why they were phased out so damn fast all of a sudden.
Want your company to be in good company?
There was also a fatality in Germany at one of the training ranges due to a wire failure.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah. At one filled training area, there was a wire failure that the missile looped back at the shooting crew.
Oh, it sounds like
crazy.
sounds
We
like,
started using laws again.
yeah, yep.
Yeah, but I don't know how long you've been out, but you see all infantry units now have SMAs. They all have Carl Gustavs.
Yep.
Oh, they all got the Gus?
Yep.
Yep, everyone's got the goose now.
Well, not everybody. We
You- Light infantry does.
SF uses laws.
Yeah, but starting year before last, they started issuing them to all infantry units
Yeah.
to phase out the AT4.
The thing that
They still give y'all ladders now, too?
I've been out since 15.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
I know some guys that are still with them. They're the ones bragging about the SMAs.
Oh my
That
God.
was Alpine Warfare unit.
Wait, you got out in 2016?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you got out a year after me.
And I did from 99 to 16.
Whew, I don't know how you did that.
I don't either, but
my retirement was 2014 and not by choice.
Yeah, I remember you told.
I got med boarded. I would have retired last year if it wasn't for being med boarded.
So they kind of like, cause some units, when I got an interview at Microsoft, right, and right when I was getting out, it was like, well, if you stay in, we'll give you a $30,000 bonus. I was like, listen, the bonus you can give me does not have any comparison to what my salary will be
Yeah.
once I get this job.
Yep. Yep.
So as group, I was like, y'all are out of y'all mind.
Yep.
First off, y'all reckless. I don't even like y'all. I'm so glad I didn't go wherever you decided to go with deployment because y'all are too reckless for me. I was like, this shit was Flying Ranger back. This is nonsense.
Monitor your levels at all times.
I traded my first part of my time in the Alpine Warfare unit. I went to a freaking maintenance force support company. I hurt my back, so I became a mechanic.
Is that out of Drum?
No, Drum doesn't have any mountains. Ethan Allen, Fire Marine, Vermont.
Vermont? Wow, I didn't even know that was a place.
10th
Well,
Mountain.
I knew Vermont was a place. I didn't know there was a warfare center.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually the Army Mountain Warfare, Army Alpine Warfare Centers there.
Yeah.
Because mountain warfare is in Drum.
Yep.
And they have the mountain patch, but they don't really do anything in the mountains. We always bust their balls.
Where's the 10th Mountain base now?
That's Drum.
It's
But
Drum.
they don't really specialize in mountain warfare anymore.
Well, no, the 10th has been reassigned to CONUS. Their main duty is defense of CONUS. Do you know that? Yeah. 10th Mountain is now the on-call active duty unit for CONUS.
The QRF for CONUS?
Yep.
That's wild.
Yep. And it's even in the NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act.
And they have a lot of guardians attached to them. I know my state's field artillery is assigned to the 10th Mountain for CONUS activations as one of their main fire support batteries.
Do you think they did that so they could keep making money because they realized no one was fighting in the mountains?
Nope.
No.
They did it because of the fear of internal, because too many people, too many groups are getting anti-government.
Ah, okay. So they did that.
Yep. They also, when they did,
thought that was HRT. I thought HRT was responsible
nope.
for that.
They did. They also created a civilian defense force in the same start of this whole group of things. They added the NDAA was at the same time as during Obama's term, and they added that. They added a new civilian defense force of 100,000 people. They added a board of director governors in case of national defense or national emergency. Regions that are covered by these governors. They added something that really woke me up. They now, in the NDAA, if the president so declares a national emergency, if they want for the better of the country, they can go house to house and seize your food, your cars, gas, whatever they want, whatever, and they can give you a chit for compensation at a later to be determined date. They can take all your shit. for reasons of national emergency. And it makes, during that declaration, it makes anyone holding more food than 7 days, it makes it illegal. No shit. Not a joke.
So if Tim's got QRF for Connors,
Yep.
what is HRT doing?
HRT would probably be tasked with political, what's the word I want to use? Secret Service type stuff. They'd probably become a quick reaction force for political people, movements, VIP, stuff like that. And I also learned it firsthand because I was team lead of a 24-person team, and we were tasked with. Are you aware that in 2012, the planet, the Earth, no kidding, not a joke, nearly had an extinction level event?
Nope.
Yep. If you look up a week of solar flares, 21 July 2012, you can read about how multiple massive flares and CMEs were ejected from the sun at one of the highest levels ever detected, one right after the other, and they were headed right directly at Earth. My unit was activated, and we escorted about 150 VIPs to a bunker complex that I was tasked with my unit of defending and getting all these VIPs inside to close up the blast doors. That was the week of 21 July 2012. They did not tell anybody for 2 years after the fact, so now you can actually look it up. 2 years later, they very quietly released that this event even took place. Today, it's still highly classified, all the super details, behind the scenes of what took place. We went to full continuity of government. We came within 32 hours of sealing up, which means full blast door enclosure, NBC systems online, the whole 9 yards. If they'd have hit us head on, which was what was going on, we would be either in the Stone Age or all of us extinct, because it was that big of a blast. As it was, it grazed us, took out over half the satellites in orbit, did some other damage, stuff like that. You may remember a period of time in the early 2012 time where it was on the news about how all of a sudden all GPS functions over Korea and parts of China and Japan all of a sudden went offline, and aircraft and ships couldn't navigate and all that kind of stuff all of a sudden, and they had to go to backup systems to navigate to land. That was that period. And they were blaming the North Koreans on having some kind of special weapon that took them out, took out all the signals, jammed the signals or whatever. That was that moment. So they then passed the NDAA with all this new stuff after that happened, and it's grown from there. It's gotten worse from there. So, yeah, if you go back then and start looking at public record of what was bought, what was paid for, you'd be astounded to find things like DHS buying mobile command centers and mobile guard tower, lookout towers that are actually on scissors legs on trailers. You'd be surprised to find payment. I don't know if you noticed if it happened in your area, but here in Wisconsin it became really noticed because my parents even asked about it. All the major interstate highways, within a year, all of a sudden, all of them had these new crossbars put in place at every exit and every entrance to the highway system. All sorts of little things like that. You notice how quickly they camerized all the major roads around the country. All this started happening after this took place and whatnot. And it's why when I was medically discharged in 2014, the first thing I did was smash my phone. and I have not had one since. That's why my network here is completely blocked from the outside, except for what I let through personally. And I will never have another cell phone, at least not in today's time.
Thank you for visiting
It's,
our home. Stanton's capital.
People are very unaware of what's going on,
We wish you a
and
beneficial and prosperous day.
I don't, honestly, in my heart, I don't think we're going to make it another 10 years even as a country. I really don't. And it'll be from within, not anybody outside the threat. Just like Russia said.
Stand by for a second.
Your personal belongings are your personal responsibility. Monitor your luggage
All right,
at
I'm
all
back.
times.
Yeah. Just like Russia said in the 80s, and because I went in 1981 is when I started my duty. I had 3 periods of service, and in 1981, or 1980, it was mid-1980s, I don't remember exactly when, but Russia and China, but Russia mainly, made it very clear,
Please be
we're going to
aware
take down the
that
U.S.,
while in the Stanton
but we're not going to do it with guns, bullets, and bombs.
all UEE
We're going to do it from within.
are still in effect.
And I would not be surprised if what we're seeing today, somebody's got to be running the show with all the shit we've been seeing, you know, with the riots and all that kind of stuff. They're too well planned. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not sleepers. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And if you have access or can find the intel reports from the FBI, even recently, 3 months ago was the last one I had read. The FBI has now, their counterterrorism has said that they have confirmed at least 10,200 Chinese males between the age of 20 and 30 that have infiltrated and crossed the border into our country. Now, we have open movement between China and the U.S. You know, get on an airplane, fly there, get your visa to, go for a visit, whatever you want to do. Why would you need 10,200 men to sneak across the U.S. border at night in camo? By the way, I forgot to mention, this is on camera, on film. Why would they need to sneak in 10,200 Chinese 20 to 30-year-old males in the last few years? Rhetorical question, obviously. So, yeah, I think there's a plan in play, and not much we can do about it, because nobody's going to admit it or do anything about it anyway, even if you could.
That's pretty much where I'm at with most of this stuff now. It's like, I don't put anything past anyone.
Yep.
But there's nothing I can do about it.
Yep.
So I get on video games and shoot shit.
That's exactly right. Well, I do one other thing. We now grow our own food, and we have arrangements with local farmers and stuff here for my family, that kind of thing.
That's actually what me and my wife started doing. We start shopping locally. We're trying to make everything as local as possible.
Yep.
To everything we do.
Yep. Someday when you're rich, what you need to do is buy yourself a nice little homestead out of the city. Someplace that you can, have as your own, set it up the way you want it.
So where I live actually is part of my escape route, right?
Mm-hmm.
So back when they was doing all the stuff about South Korea, I can barely hear you because of this game. Dang. Back when they were doing all the stuff in South Korea about nukes,
yep,
I made sure we picked a place near a mountain pass.
Yep.
So that we're no more than maybe 30, 40 minutes to get into the mountain.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Or get on the other side of them at the least.
Yeah, at a minimum.
Yep. Yeah, it's sad. I've been on my own daughters. I have 3 daughters that are now adults, of course, and they're like, Dad, but I keep telling them, hey, nothing may happen. Nothing may happen in my lifetime, but what I've done will be used someday by someone, and hopefully someone in my family, obviously. That's the whole point.
What I tell everyone around me now, like when they try to say stuff like this, paranoia,
mm-hmm.
I say that everything is cool until it ain't.
Yep.
And when it's not, it goes bad quickly. So.
Yep, that's exactly right. You and I, we've seen other countries where one day it's fine, and a week later, it looks like they've been at war for 10 years. You know, it's
Yep.
you know, look at Kazakhstan right now on TV. In a week, they went from, you know, stable to the shit hit the fan. You know, I mean, they're still a communist country, but that's not the point. The point is they went from stability to shooting civilians in the street.
SC question. Where is Area 18?
It's on ArcCorp.
Is that a planet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a city planet.